Hello everyone and welcome back for the part 2 of how you can make your own dial, your own chronograph dial. So in today's video I will show you how you can make your own design using LightBurn. The reason why I'm using LightBurn actually there are many reasons to be honest. I will explain to you why I'm using LightBurn exactly and why I'm not using Photoshop. So the thing is with LightBurn, why I'm using this instead of Photoshop is that first of all, everything that I'm doing, I can actually check on the piece of metal or whatever to see if everything is okay, if everything is in order. That's one. And second, I have more control of the writing. For example, I can see let's just say for example this. I can see the size of the writing, I can see the clarity of the writing, I can see actually everything. Another thing that you have to keep in mind that is this, for example, you see the space in between them, you see everything. So, for example, if you take something from Photoshop, if you take a design from Photoshop, you do not know exactly the thickness of this cliche basically. So you don't know exactly how big it will be, you don't know exactly if it will work and stuff like that. So that's one reason, and it is an important reason. So again, you guys, you can choose anything, you can use anything that you want. It's really up to you guys. But I will show you exactly why I'm using a software that is made specially for the fiber laser. So first things first, what is the most important actually is this. As you see here is the split of a second, and I do not know exactly if you can do that with Photoshop, and especially if you're at the beginning, if you're just trying this watchmaking thing and if you're trying to make your own dial or your own cliche, especially your own cliche, these things are very important to be exactly precise. As you see, it's split of a second with 3 milliseconds in 1 second basically. So that I tried before I did not try with Photoshop. Again, I'm not really an expert with Photoshop. I used to do a course with Photoshop way before, and I did not do design. So, like I said, probably there are many other softwares of making designs, but the reason why I'm using this one, I will show you guys exactly what I mean. So, let's just say, for example, you want to do this. You want to do split of a second, which, again, this is the most important. These things, the numbers, or anything else, you can actually do them on Photoshop. That's not really a problem. But these tiny things, these ones, matter to do them on the software that you're using for the fiber laser. And I will show you how exactly you can do this split of a second thing, or how you can align them to be perfect the way I aligned them here. So, you take one of these, for example, and let's just say you make it exactly like this. One second, let me take this one away from here, just for you guys to see. I'm just gonna put it here. Oh, I forgot one here. Anyway. So you have this, for example. Let me make it a bit slimmer, like this. So again, keep in mind when you're doing your seconds, keep in mind to not be too thin. For example, to not be like this or something like this, because we are talking about here a fraction of a millimeter. We are talking about 0.018. As you see, it's 0.018. They should be at least something like this, not even a bit like this. For example, as you see, it matches these ones. It's really up to you guys. This one, it all depends on how thick you want to do the ink. If you do it watery, if you do it like very watery, you can actually do it even like this. But keep in mind, if you're doing this, as you see here, you have this one a bit thicker. So basically, if you're using it too watery, this one actually can go too thick. So ideal will be to do this separately. I will show you guys later why I mean. But anyway, let me show you exactly how to do this. Let's just say, for example, you do it like that, and you want to spread it across the dial like this. You want to spread it evenly across the dial, to go at 1, to go at 2, to go here in the middle, to go everything precise. And let's just say you want to spread this one 12, basically 12 times. So you go this, you go here, you put 1, put 12 basically. You start here from 0 because you just want to see exactly where the dial is centered. So you go like this, and you see, you remember this 43 from now on, and you click OK. And as you see, it went spread evenly, exactly the way it should be, basically. So this is why I'm using, and that's why I'm using LightBurn. So let's just say, for example, again, you take this one, you duplicate it, and you make it a bit. I should have done it the other way around, but anyway, this is just like a video just for you guys to see exactly how I'm doing the split of a second. Actually, let's go back a bit. Okay, let's do this one a bit bigger like this. You go back, you go 12, you go 43, you click OK. Don't forget to group every time after you do it. You do not want to take them all, every single one of them individual, because it will take you forever. Now on this one, because this one is only 12, but you will see later why I mean. Okay, so now I'm not going to duplicate them because I already have them. Anyway, I'm just showing you guys. And now you take this one again, make a duplicate of this one, and you make it a bit slimmer, like this. So basically, the thicker ones, these ones are for the hour, and these ones are for the minutes. And then you go again on this one, you go now 60, and again you go 43, and you click OK. And as you see, it made exactly 4 seconds in between. As you see. And now, again, if you want to do the split of a second the way I did it, again, this one you group. Again, do not forget to group them, because this one will be very, very difficult to take every single one of them individual, and if you forget to group them. And then again, you take this one, for example, you duplicate it, and let's just say you make it a bit longer just to see what you did. And then you click this one again, but instead of 60 here, what you have to keep in mind when you do this, basically, the split of a second, it kind of depends on how many you want in the split of a second. So as you see here, it has 3 in between. The more you use, the harder will be to make the path printing. The more you use in between, you can use 4, you can use 3, you can even use 5, you can use how many you want, but keep in mind, because they are so tiny, when you path print, when you do the path print, all of them, every single one of them, they have to be proper clear, proper accurate, proper clear, even with a magnifying glass. So I would recommend to do that when you're a bit more advanced of doing path printing. Let's just say, for example, you want to do 3 in between, or you want to do 2 in between. So let's just say you do 2 in between. So you kind of have to multiply it. Basically, you have 60 now. Let's just say you put, again, 43 it was. And instead of 60, you put 180. Let's just say with 180. And as you see now, there are 2 in between. You see, 1, 2. If you use 214, you have 3 in between. And if you put again 300, you have to multiply by 60 basically. If you put 300, and there you have it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in between. I would not recommend you guys to put 300, to put these ones, because you have to do 300 of them. With the pad printing, you have to do them correctly. Every single one of them have to be like proper correct. I mean, it kind of depends on how you want your standards and how you want your watches to be basically, but that's the reason why I'm using LightBurn. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how I do this split of a second thing, but it's actually very easy to do this with LightBurn, to do this split of a second, or to do the seconds and stuff like that. And it works on every single one of them. Let me put everything together. I don't want to mess it up. I don't know if I save it. 1 second to save this before. And it works for these ones as well. You just have to find the center. Let's just say, for example, you take this one, for example, and again you go here. Instead of 60, you have to count. Here you have 12, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That, yeah, you have 12. So you put here 12, and here it's okay to start from 0. Sorry, not like this. No, sorry. So you go like this, you put 12, and here it's okay to start like this, basically. And then you go down as you go, and you see it kind of goes. So basically here is 35, because it's all about the center. Center here is 62, the other center was different. But it's exactly the same thing for this one. As you see, they went aligned perfectly. So yeah. This is the way you do all of them, even here, even everywhere. This is the way you do the design. Another thing that you have to keep in mind when you do the design, all of this basically, all of these circles here, this, the date and everything. The way I do it, you go here and you go to Sellita, either Sellita website, or you just find the manual for the Sellita that you're using. So in this particular one, I'm using SW500, and you go all the way to the bottom. Here's the manual that you need for in case you're doing a service. All the watchmakers, they have this. I mean, I think after a while you learn how to do this by yourself. I learned how to do my service on my watches, but not on these advanced watches. The complicated watches, I don't do a service, but on the normal watches, for example, on the SW200 or ETA 2824, I do the service. I don't need this one anymore. And probably if you're a watchmaker, you already know this one, but you learn quickly. So all you have to do is go on this. This is the design. This is what you need if you start creating your own dial. This is the blueprint basically of the dial. Keep in mind that ETA doesn't have this. ETA doesn't share all this information. They share how to make the service and where to oil it and how to put oil and stuff like that. But keep in mind they do not share this blueprint, which this is very important if you start making your own dials. But what you can do, if you have a ETA movement, what you can do, you can actually go on the Celita website, because Celita has exactly the same movements that ETA has. I do not know much about the mechanical movements, and I do not know if you do a restoration of older movements, for example, like from the ones from the 70s or whatever. I do not know that. I do not know how old is Celita. I do not know if they have a copy of the older generation, but they do have a copy of most of the important movements. So what you have to do is go on their website or find a manual and then check this. Check all of these things, basically the way they are placed and the way all of this, you see all of the measurements and everything. And then you go back to your design. And as you see all of these lines here, all of these are the dial feet. All of the lines, all of them it's already measured. The date, the distance of the date, as you see here, for example, is 4.8. You go back, you see the distance of the date is 4.8. So basically this is what you have to do. So again, from the center all the way to the first hole here, it's you have to check. So basically the distance is 8 millimeters. Go back, you see this line here. Everything has to go from the center. So you see this line here, all the way to the center. It's 8 millimeters. So yeah. So basically you have to take all the measurements. Everything that you see here with in red, everything has to be placed correctly. For example, this one is placed with this one. This has to be placed. Everything has to be exactly equal when you're planning to do a watch. If you're planning to do a proper watch, even this one, for example, this was here, but I moved it. So as you see here, the 7 has to be aligned with the 5. This one was actually here before, but I moved it. But again, 4 has to be aligned with the 8. This one, they align by themselves. Again, this one, the 2 has to be aligned with the 10. And 1 has to be aligned, 1 second, 1 has to be aligned with 11, which is not, but I will align it now. Yeah, so keep in mind when you do a watch dial, and when you do all the design yourself and everything, keep in mind that everything has to be aligned the proper way. I mean, if you want to do the align thing, or you can do the Frank Muller style, that you can just do the 4 here, for example, or you can just do it like randomly. It's really up to you, but if you want to do a watch proper, you have to align them proper. So in this design, basically, like I showed you before the previous video, I'm doing a chronograph watch. So I already have the dial for the chronograph watch that so I have the dial already for it. But this one I'm just doing it for basically for you guys to see how I'm doing the split of a second. For me as well to challenge myself a bit, because this will be a bit different. And this one I'm doing with numbers, even though I'm not really wearing watches with numbers, but I will do it just for you guys to see exactly how I do the path printing of these numbers here, basically. Again, with the 12, when you do a chronograph, if you have the same chronograph that I have, with these tiny circles to be here and here and here, you have many types of chronographs. You have only with 2, you have with 3, but one is here, and another one is here as well. But keep in mind, because these tiny circles here, they take most of the dial. So basically, when you do the logo, you have to do it here, or if you have the other chronograph that has the circles here and here, you can put the logo on the top. But keep in mind that everything will be cut, basically, like this 12 here and the 6 here on the bottom, they will be cut, basically. So this one, if you have a bit of knowledge of LightBurn, you know how to do this how to cut the 12. If you're using LightBurn to do this, if not, you can use it on Photoshop and you can transfer it here. But yeah, so like I said, I'm doing numbers now just to show you guys how I do the printing pad. So the thing is, what I'm planning to do on this particular watch, again, because I want to challenge myself, and because like I said before, I'm experimenting all sorts of things and I'm trying all sorts of things. What I will be doing in this one, I will do everything with sort of like different colors, basically. So this particular one, this one, I've seen some chronograph watches that they do this one, only this, like basically the hour pad, basically the hour printing pad. I will do this with red or different color, and the rest of it I will do it with different color as well. You need to be very precise and everything has to be very accurate. So the way you do it is like this. It's do a cliche for this one separately and do a cliche for this one separately as well. So what you have to do is basically print this one first, print all of them, and then print the other ones, this one, print them exactly where they should be. Very hard to explain, but this is what I'm planning to do. I will show you guys later when I will do it. Again, when you do a chronograph, a dial, the most important is most of them you have to do them on a separate cliches, basically. So this has to be on a separate cliche because it's they are very tiny. So the ink probably has to be a bit more watery, basically. You have to dilute it a bit more for these ones because they are very tiny. This one has to be on a different cliche. All the hours, basically, they have to be on a different cliche because they are way bigger. So this one, probably the ink has to be a bit thicker. It kind of depends on you, how you want it to look. Again, this one's ideal would be to be on a different cliche, every single one of them. This, for example, this and this. So ideal would be to have a smaller pad, basically, a smaller printing pad. The silicone rubber, ideal would be to have a smaller one, to put this one and this one and this one. Probably I will do that as well, just to show you how I do it. Basically, I do not remember if I think I have a smaller one. I had it. I never used it though, but I do have it somewhere. If I did not throw it away, because I got it from AliExpress and it was quite cheap anyway. I do not know if I still have it, but I remember that I had it. Anyway, I have a smaller silicone pad anyway. So I will show you guys how to do this one separately. Ideal will be to do it separately. Do not try to do the whole thing in one go. I do not know if it will work. Probably will work. I'm not saying no, but I've seen some videos. I mean, this is the way they do it. They do this one separately. What else? Again, the logo and this, if you're planning to write this, your logo and this one can actually go with this, or this can go with the numbers. It's not really a problem. It's really up to you how you choose to do it. I mean, it kind of depends. If you want to do this again with a different color, you can use a different cliche to use different color as well for this one. So basically, just keep in mind, if you're trying to do, for example, let's just say, for example, if you're doing 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the numbers with different colors. Let's just say, for example, if you're trying to do 12 red, 1 green, 2 yellow, or whatever. If you're planning to do all of them on multicolor, you have to use a cliche for this one, a cliche for this one, a cliche for this one, and so on. Every time when you're doing this, you have to use different cliches. For example, if you're planning to do a multicolor dial, you have to use different cliches, and you have to use you have to dilute your ink, all of them the same the way is for this one basically. So yeah, that will be a bit of more advanced situation, but yeah, I will show you guys how I do this basically, how I stamp all of this and the way I stamp it. But yeah, so far this is the design I will be choosing. Um, I will try to do these things. Basically, I will try to do it as simple as possible, just for you guys to see. And I don't know if I will keep this dial or probably I will keep it. I will have to see how it goes. I will have to see if I manage to put the dial fit because I took another measurements now, so probably it will work this time. Uh, and we'll have to see what I do with this one. So basically, the chronograph watches, they come in different colors or different things. So basically, you can choose to make these tiny circles here different colors, or you can leave them the same color. It's really up to you guys. If you're using them with a different color, that will be a bit of a challenge to paint. The way you can paint it actually is by, again, the cliche thing. You can actually use it for paint the whole dial as well, or paint these tiny things as well. So what you have to do is take this one, engrave it on the piece of metal, on the piece of the cliche that I showed you before. You engrave it on exactly the same setting that you're engraving these ones, the ones I showed you before. And you can actually paint the whole thing by using the pad printing thing. So keep in mind that you can do that as well. Again, regarding all of this, if you have any questions regarding the design and everything, feel free to ask. You can leave a comment, and I will try to answer you guys. But yeah, that's all there is to know about this, and that's all there is to know about the make your own design basically from scratch for a chronograph dial using LightBurn. And again, you use LightBurn only if you use fiber laser. If you're using a CNC machine or if you're using something else to cut the dial, then all this doesn't really apply to you. It only applies this for the cliches basically. But I'm using this LightBurn thing because I have more control. For example, once this one is already designed, I can actually give it a bit of test on those piece of aluminum business cards. I can engrave it, I can see how it looks, I can see if the writing is big enough, I can see if everything is big enough. And once I see that, and once I cut it to see if it fits and everything, to see how it looks inside of the watch, then I start the process of doing it. So basically, if you're using it on Photoshop, you don't really have control over this. You have to go back on Photoshop, edit some things, put it back here, do it again, and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I'm using LightBurn, and that for me is very helpful. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for watching this video, and again, subscribe and like, and I will post more videos, and I will show you guys how I make this, and I will make the part 3 for making your own chronograph dial from scratch. All right, bye bye. Thank you very much.